Hi, this is Kimberly from Are You Awakening? And I hope that you are keeping yourself busy during these times. I know I've been spending a lot of time meditating and sending out a bunch of love. So that's why you haven't seen me much. Today we're going to talk about jump-starting your awakening by using plants. Not that, well, you can use that kind of plant, but that's not what this video is about. So this video is about real plants like, oh, I got my little friends here. So we've got my succulents. And so awakening is a process that we are all going to go through if we're sticking here on earth. And it's a natural process. And that is the key, natural, right? So I live in Los Angeles. It's a relatively natural city, actually, considering other cities I've lived in that are much more full of concrete and tall skyscrapers. So we have trees and grass and that sort of thing around us here when we need it. We might have to walk a little ways, but that's okay. But the key, especially if you're living in a city, is to get yourself into nature. And I know you've heard that a gazillion times. Get yourself into nature, go ground and sit cross-legged with your back to a tree. And all those things are very good, by the way. First of all, I can't sit cross-legged, but if I could, I probably still wouldn't. Anyway. So the whole thing about getting yourself back into nature has a much deeper meaning than just touching a tree, okay? And I want to go a little esoteric in here because I really want to cater to the dreamers now. I really want to cater to those of you who are like, I get it, I'm creating my reality, I got some shit to clear out, I'm working on that. Right? Now I want to make this process, this natural process, fun. You are who I'm talking to right now. And so you have a relatively broad understanding that your body isn't all there is, right? We know that. We know that inherently that ourselves don't end where our skin ends, okay? So with that knowing and with that understanding, let's expand that a tiny bit more. Now what I want you to do is I want you to think about yourself in the middle of a giant holographic bubble. And in this bubble, which can be so big that you actually can't even see the edges of it, you have nothing but a blank screen, okay? So on this blank screen, you are casting your intentions. With every thought that you have, with every action that you take, with your behavior, you are creating what you see on the inside of this screen for yourself. Well, guess what? That's a great way of looking at life. And everything that you're seeing on your screen is something that you put there. Now, we are all sharing portions of this screen, right? So you can imagine people walking around in their own bubbles, and of course we're colliding with each other in different or in common areas, right? And you've put all of this here through your thoughts and your intentions. Oh, we've got a friend. Maybe you can see him, maybe not. With your intentions, and it's you. Okay? So everything that you can see, and this little guy here, let's see, can I get you? Oh, he's moving. It was a bug. With your intentions, you're casting this out on the screen, but what that really truly is more of you. So not only are you extending out beyond your body, you're also extending all the way out to the edges of this bubble, and all of those things are you. So what the hell does this have to do with plants? Well, if you're living on Earth and you're not in the Sahara Desert, which I also love, but around plants, around nature, this is why you're always being told you're part of Earth. Well, because you are, all right? You are. If you are experiencing Earth, the trees, the plants, the water, the buildings, all of those things are you. They're an extension of you. And so if you don't get to know them, all of it, then you're not learning about you. You're not connecting with you. So one way to start connecting with that part of you, which is a huge part of your screen. It's giant, right? You're not separate from it. And so learn how to connect with it. So plants are very easy to connect with, okay? They're living. They're relatively easy to take care of. I've got some examples here of some that are so easy to take care of it's basically impossible to kill it, which is a good thing. And they also allow you to adore them, right? And I've heard your grandma, she probably said like, oh, if you love your plants, they'll grow more. That's why. It's because you're projecting your loving energy onto another living being, which is an extension of you, and that living being is responding, okay? And so when you start working with a plant, you just need one. It can be inside your house, it can be outside your house. If you're in the city like me, I started with them inside the house. And then I started going outside of the house, and now you can't get me back in. Because, yeah, I mean, look how majestic it is out there if you really look for it. Now, let's go back to the succulent. So, if you buy yourself a plant, take it home and interact with it every day. Now, what does that mean? Look, we've got new buds, and I appreciate all the different colors around the leaves. And this one looks really healthy. And this one is like so vibrant green for me, it's almost neon, okay? So all I did was spend, what, a minute appreciating this plant. And by doing that, I'm projecting my love to another being, and that being will respond. So as you learn to appreciate your plants and you see them responding, you're going to open up the floodgates, okay? Chances are you might want to be going outside more, that sort of thing. It's natural. It's part of the natural process, is you getting back to earth, okay? And even if we live in a city, you know, we can get back to earth. The most adorable thing on earth, marimo moss balls. Okay, they're really algae, but we call them moss. All it does is live in water. Can't kill that. So don't tell me that I kill all plants, I can't do this. Yes, you can. Get yourself a moss ball. And they don't even need light. Actually, they don't even like light. Like, on your desk is perfect. You will learn to love these little suckers like no tomorrow. So you can get those on Etsy. I'll put the link in there. No affiliation, but okay. Now, let's say you got your plant, you've got it for a while. Chances are you're probably going to get another one and another one. Totally normal, and all a lesson for you to understand that there are lots of things that might require your responsibility. And do you want them to be in your life? Okay? So you're going to learn by taking care of this plant and enjoying this plant. Also a sense of responsibility, a symbiotic relationship. So let's go to the next level, which is bigger plants. So this is a Chinese evergreen. They're really hard to kill. Okay, so you can get them anywhere. And they have a bunch of different variety, lots of variegated leaves, very symbolic there. And I'm going to tell you another thing that's really cool about these plants. They're very interactive, meaning that if you put it out like on the back table in your porch, they freaking glow. And you will see the vitality of a plant from this one. Yeah. It's a different world now, huh? Yeah. Interacting with the rest of your environment besides just what we consider the internal part, right? Now, here's a little trick, and this was introduced by Luhan Matus. He's a shaman. If you ever want to check him out, luhanmatus.com. I'll put the link in there. So this is called plant gazing, and I used to do it as a kid with candles, but I used to set the plants on fire, so I use the fake ones now. Feel free to use real ones. Just expect your plants might be a little crispy and it might not serve them quite so well. But plant gazing, I mean, it's bright in here, but this is a fantastic meditation tool right here, okay? Now, for someone who loves Halloween as much as I do, I mean, this is just heaven. And lots of opportunity for you to go within and yet still be connected with these plants. So how does this help you jumpstart your awakening? Well, as you learn your connection with these plants, you are literally moving into another plane, okay? Again, we're going to talk about this in my game, but you're going to be moving into the next plane, which if you have heard, you know, the field, you'll be moving into the field. Instead of the field being over here and you being here, you are melding with that field, and now you are moving with the field. When that starts to happen, that's when the synchronicities start coming in, because you are aligned now. Yes. So much fun, so much weirdness, so much benevolence is there just from a little plant. Okay? So, get yourself a plant. Just one to start out. Don't go nuts, because remember, they are a responsibility that you are taking on. And you're going to learn a lot about yourself while you're doing that. Take care of it, love it, and learn about who you are in the grand scheme of things. As you walk around your environment, you'll start to recognize your connection with all of it. And that's when things start to really get fun. That's when you feel like you have the freedom to dream more and to create more of life than just the typical routine stuff. Because you are going to see things differently. You're going to go down the street and you are going to be like, oh my God, look at that plant. And you're going to stop and you're going to revel at it, because you have learned to appreciate something very different from you and something with its own energy that's giving back. That is huge. Okay? So as you start to do this more, you're going to notice that your colors are going to get brighter. It's going to feel like the plant is literally glowing. And that's you expanding not only your visual spectrum, but also you're allowing more of higher level energy to come in, and you're recognizing it. Huge stuff. And that's when you propel yourself straight up. So hopefully you enjoy your plant as much as I do. And feel free to share photos. I love to see pictures of plants. Okay? And don't forget, always be yourself all the time.